You want to complain, don't you? That's what you want to do. You want to complain. I can tell. That's what you're thinking. This is bad. This made me nervous. I'm angry. I'm disappointed. Guess what? They're freaking 4-2. Good morning to you. Good Monday morning from Los Angeles. I'm Dejan Kovacevic of DK Pittsburgh Sports, and this is Daily Shot of Steelers. It comes your way bright and early every weekday. If you're into hockey and or baseball, I also offer daily shots of Penguins and Pirates in the same place that you found this. Steelers 24, Rams 17. You know what? Feel how you want to feel. I'm not here to wag a finger at anybody. I am here to say and to share that these guys in this locker room at SoFi Stadium aren't apologizing for the first parts of three quarters, I guess you could say, because there's no need to, because they came back and got the result when it mattered, and in the only category where it mattered, that, of course, being the standings. They're 4-2. They have the 8th best record in the NFL. The team with the 7th best record, Jaguars, is coming to town next week. They could just keep right on moving up. The question becomes, at least as I see it, are they getting better? Are they actually getting better, or are they just continuing to slog their way to victories without improvement? I saw things in this game that made me feel that they're getting better. Now, it's not dramatically better. It's incrementally at best, but it's something. It's still moving upward. You want a couple of examples? Outside of the obvious. The obvious is that Kenny Pickett just plays better in the fourth quarter than he does in the other three. And there's just nothing really you can say about this. I asked Kenny, too. I asked Kenny, did you see this game as progress for the offense?
I think so. I absolutely. You're always looking for positives to continue to build on, and the way we played in the fourth quarter to win the game, I think that's a huge positive.
He did, too. And on his way out of the room after giving me that answer, he kind of walked past me in that direction and shared with me a couple other things to really fortify how strongly he believes in that. And he should. He played better in the fourth quarter than in the other three. I don't know if that's a defect or not, but that's the one quarter that you'd most want him doing well in, right? Running game did absolutely nothing for the first half, most of the third quarter, but then, when they needed a big drive, when they needed that 80-yarder, they got it. And as they got to the far end, as they got into the red zone, there were some really meticulously, thoroughly blocked plays to open up holes for both Jaylen Warren and Najee Harris. I asked Jaylen about the 13-yard touchdown that he scored and about the support that he had around him, and listen to his reply.
I mean, they blocked it up perfectly, and I just picked the hole that they gave me.
Is there an adjustment on your part, or was that just exactly by design?
Design, yeah, really just to read whatever they give me. We want to take the outside, but the inside opens, right. Then we hit it.
Yeah, it's pretty. Wait till you haven't seen the video yet?
No.
You will enjoy it.
Yeah.
For those guys, even more for yourself.
Yeah, I can't wait.
I speak with this guy on a lot of occasions, and that's how he is when he's giddy. That's how he is when he knows that something really great happened. He finds himself at a loss for words, which is actually kind of an endearing trait for anyone to have. But the offense got it done. George Pickens got it done. Deontay Johnson got it done, as I had, by the way, told you that he would. And yeah, they had some dumb penalties, and they make everybody mad, and all the Mike Tomlin bashers come out and discipline. Yeah, these were two really rock-headed penalties, both of them. Selfish, stupid, and they're going to be addressed. They're going to be addressed. Tomlin brought them up himself. I talked with Deontay about his. George had nothing to say other than, he's got to be smarter than that. It happened. It happens. Most unfortunately, though, when anything like that happens, even in a win, that's what the people who, just hate themselves and hate the world fixate on for the entire following week. Don't be one of those. There's my one finger wagging of the day. Because they actually had, the Steelers, collectively, as a whole, a really nice W out here. And they really are, you can't take this away from them, 4-2. And most important, I believe, they really are getting a little bit each week better. And the best part is they're getting better where it counts the most, meaning among their younger players, the offensive younger players, some of the defensive younger players. How about Nick Herbig getting his first sack? DeMarvin Leal showed up on the D line, helped stop some of that bleeding in the second half. Joey Porter Jr., kid really needs to learn how to tackle, but he can do a lot of other things really well. And that got Levi Wallace sent to the sideline. There's a lot of good that came from this. The team got better out here. Is it going to be enough? Is it going to continue? Is it going to be some exponential thing? Is it going to flatline? We have no idea. But for right now, if you were to know in advance that this team was going to struggle this immensely, especially on offense, someone told you you'd be 4-2 right now, you'd be dancing down the, what do they call it here, the Hollywood Walk of Fame or whatever those stars are on. I don't know much about LA. I'm getting out of here. When we come back, J1Q.
Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly, and George. LGKG is a personal injury law firm in Western Pennsylvania that represents people hurt in car accidents or who need help with workers' comp or medical malpractice. When the attorneys at LGKG make you a promise, they keep it. They've been keeping promises in our region for over 80 years. LGKG's been AV rated, the highest rating a law firm can receive, and they've been designated super lawyers. That's actually a thing for over 15 years. It's a rare combination. LGKG has offices in Cranberry, Newcastle, Beaver Falls, Butler, and Elwood City. Learn more about them by visiting lgkg.com or by calling 888-842-5454. LGKG. Today's J1Q comes from Ryan, who says, "Hey DK, is it just me, or did Matt Canada, and I'm not a fan of his, actually call a pretty good game?" He did, I think, in spurts. He definitely had a good 80-yard drive. Now, as always, it's important to stress the separation between play calling and play execution. Every coordinator everywhere, and I'm sure Canada isn't an exception, will tell you that with perfect execution, they all look like geniuses because all of their plays, every last one of them, are designed to go for touchdowns other than the sneaks. But when you look at the construct, the rhythm that was formed specifically on that 80-yard drive, you saw, for example, immediately a couple of runs. And they weren't loser runs. They were 5-yarders. There was a 7-yarder in there, I believe, a 9-yarder. Some was Najee, some was Jalen. There was a pass down the left sideline. Really good ball thrown by Kenny. Now, again, if that play is incomplete, what happens? People like me and maybe people like you say, he's throwing outside the numbers again, but the play was completed. So you say, okay, great. Nice call there. Right after that, Kenny throws to the right side for Deontay Johnson. It kept the Rams from stacking one side or the other. It kept the Rams from ganging up too much on the run. So now what happens? The Steelers get a little bit closer. Connor Hayward gets involved, which is something else I told you guys was going to happen this Sunday with Pat Freiermuth out. specifically that Hayward would be involved. What I didn't know and what I was genuinely surprised by was that Rodney Williams got in the mix a lot more than Darnell Washington. Did not see that coming. Something we can talk about later in the week. But Connor almost punches it in. They get down there, and it's just a beautiful set of blocks. Again, like the Jalen touchdown that sprung Najee for his from 3 yards. It was, yes, he did. Okay. I don't feel like I should have to qualify or that anybody should have to qualify when somebody puts together a drive that's that methodical, that's that deliberate, that's that rhythmic, and it succeeds and it wins you the game. Yeah, man, that's what you do. You know, I had somebody within the team bring this up with me. This was upon landing here in LA. I'm going to share it with you guys. Like, this was just about Canada and all the vitriol and everything else back home that's aimed at him. And of course, and I keep prefacing this, I'm not an exception to that. I've called for his firing like every week for about 1.5 years now. And the discussion was partly about how bad it's become and how it's gotten to be that point, and whether or not it could ever reverse itself. And I said, sure, of course it could reverse itself. And the other person says, yeah, you could just put up 24 points a game. This was the day before the Steelers put up 24 points, and I got my first ever positive J1Q about Matt Canada. I'm flying home, guys. Let's do this again tomorrow.